Welcome everyone to episode 89 of Box News. This episode is about the video game Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2, which is available now on all platforms. It is a game by LucasArts and it's a sequel to 2008 Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. The Force Unleashed 2 refines gameplay elements from the first Force Unleashed. It adds more variety with such features as puzzle solving. Combat was also modified to include the ability to dual-wield lightsabers, which can dismember or decapitate enemies. The game also adds more force powers such as Mind Trick and Force Fury. The plot of The Force Unleashed 2 takes place about 6 months after the events of the first game, and a year before Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. The Force Unleashed 2 is considered the dark entry in the series and a more personal story for the game's protagonist than the first game. In this game, you take control of Starkiller's renegade clone, which is a failure of Darth Vader's attempt to create a perfect secret apprentice. Basically, it's the same character, just a clone of it. You do all the same things, and you have problems with flashbacks, and that is one of the things that bring you down in this game. After a vision that Darth Vader will kill him due to his inability to kill a test droid, the clone escapes from captivity on Kamino. After eliminating his stormtrooper captors, Starkiller embarks on a quest to understand his identity and to find his template's love interest from the first game, Juno. Throughout the game, you go to familiar places and planets from the Star Wars series, including places from all 6 movies. Some of the familiar characters will be in there: Yoda, Darth Vader. You also come across a familiar from the first game, Jedi of Coda. You save him and he helps you on a few of the missions. And that is one of the main stories of the game, with you and Kato working together. The game's ultimate ending has you fighting a familiar character, and then you choose one of the 2 endings. Each has its own unique cinematic. Alright, now for my final thoughts on the game. I would have to give the game a 6 out of 10. Why? Because it doesn't really expand much on the elements from the first game. Graphics are slightly better, cutscenes look good again, and the combat system is slightly improved, only to manage that you have 2 lightsabers now instead of 1, hence being a sequel, making 2. I don't understand. Might be a certain point to that, but it's a nice addition to the game, but it really doesn't add a lot of new elements, and the gameplay does seem somewhat monotonous as you go on. You're fighting wave after wave of stormtroopers, fighting enemies, the same robots with the same way to kill them every time. There's not much variety in the game. Now, don't get me wrong, though. If you are a fan of Star Wars, you are going to get something out of this game. It is a pleasant experience with very easy game mechanics. It's something easy to pick up, and it doesn't require a lot of knowledge of any puzzle games to get through this. It's rather simple. The controls have been simplified. The ability to use the Force has been simplified. And it is a better game than the first one, but the first one was a good game in itself. But my biggest thing is, I feel like this game was just kind of created to have another sequel rather than a unique story. Whereas I see them making a third one to bring back Starkiller instead of a clone. But we'll see what they do from here out. It is a satisfying game, however. I do recommend renting it. I don't recommend buying it. And like I said, if you're a fan of Star Wars, this is definitely something that's worth playing. I hope you enjoyed my review. I hope this helps you on basically deciding whether or not you should take the time to play this game, and I hope you enjoyed some of the footage that I captured while playing the game. You have just watched yet another episode of Box News. Stay tuned for more. I have a lot of exciting information coming up within my next 10 to 11 episodes as we approach episode 100. There's a lot of exciting news that I will start to reveal as time goes on. So make sure you subscribe, tell your friends, and do whatever you can, and enjoy Box News.
something to hold him.
Yes, Jim.